This is the story of Snuffy Gray, a genuine American war hero. A man searching for personal redemption for reasons he can't explain.
What was the list?
I can't hear you.
What was the list?
This? KIA, MIA, 7th Cav in Korea. That's them right there. Yeah, a lot of good men. Damn good men. And it happens.
Major Robert Snuffy Gray's military career is as distinguished as they come. He fought in 3 wars, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and is most proud of his service as the first sergeant of George Company in the 2nd Battalion of the 7th Cavalry during the Korean War. He won a silver and 2 bronze stars there and was given a battlefield commission for his extraordinary ability to keep his men alive under fire.
So you haven't been to bed yet?
Huh?
It's 4:30 in the morning and you haven't gone to bed yet.
I didn't hear a damn word you said.
It's 4:30 in the morning and you haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah. Not unusual.
How often does this happen?
I'm making up a roster of George Company from the Korean War that is still alive. I've got their names, the last known hometown, and their last known phone number. You can't be in combat for a year alongside of a man and have his life depend on you and your life depends on him and you never fail each other. That's something you almost can't put into words. You know, it's one of those things that happens. It's there. You don't have to discuss it. You don't have to talk about it. But you know damn well that you can count on him and he knows he can count on you. And like I say, they've fallen off one at a time. Every time we get a bulletin, there's another half a dozen gone. You hate to see it, but you know it's coming. There's no way you can avoid it. But each time one goes, it's just another hurt.
I first met Snuffy 7 years ago when working on a film about American war crimes in Korea. He has fascinated me ever since. A proud American warrior, Snuffy is tormented by his past. In 2008, his 83rd year, Snuffy started out on a journey that was to transform his life. He began it by going to visit Robbie Roberts, a comrade he hasn't seen since the Korean War.
Who you got there? Oh, God.
Praise the Almighty. I told you I'd make it.
Oh, been so long. 56 years.
Yep.
Let's get in here. I want you to meet my better half.
I'm going to tell her about you, too.
Oh, God, Snuffy. Oh, my God. You look so much different. Oh,
You don't look like any hero.
I'm not.
I know that.
Let's get in here. And
All right.
I want you to meet somebody that's took care of me all these years.
Well, she didn't start till after I finished.
That's right. That's exactly right. Boy, I love that ponytail. That never would have flew in the 7th Cavalry. Come on in here.
How many times did you curse me?
Oh. Oh, my God. Oh. How many times did you save my life?
Well,
Let's go.
yep. I don't know, Ruppy. I had to stop.
Well, I knew you was coming.
I told you I would.
Yeah.
And you know I never damn lied.
No.
I'll follow you.
Okay.
And that's unusual.
I'll tell you, with these two total knees,
Yep.
it's good that I'm able to get around at all.
Robbie and Snuffy were amongst the first troops to go into combat in Korea as the 7th Cav was rushed to the front following the invasion by the North Korean communists. By the war's end, their unit had seen some of the heaviest fighting and suffered one of the highest casualty rates of any in the war. Despite the 35,000 U.S. dead, the conflict was dismissively called a police action for political convenience, and later became known as the Forgotten War. Korean veterans have long felt ignored, and their sacrifice barely acknowledged.
They pretty much bypassed dust. I threw 2 or 3 grenades, and then that's when I got shot in the head the first time.
Yeah.
And so I started running, and we ran on down through there and up to the CP, and they were sort of lined up on top and just shooting over the hill like this.
Yep.
And I crawled up alongside Nicodemus and laying there, and he says, right out there they are, and there they were coming.
Yeah, they
there
were.
they were coming, and so I started shooting, and I got hit again in the same helmet. The second time. And this time, boy, it went into the flesh and started bleeding and running down. I didn't know how deep it went, but I was still, mobile.
Oh, brother.
Boy, I'll tell you what, those were the days, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Huh?
They were.
There won't never be another one, will they?
No.
Boy, you come on. Get in the
Yeah. You take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You take care of Betty. I'm going to drive this damn thing.
Well, give me a big hug. You guys take care of him now. Take care.
Yeah.
And I know I won't see you no more, but I'll see you when we get up there. Okay?
Yeah.
The big ranger will be reaching down for us,
You're going to get us.
and you just be ready. Will you?
I'll be ready.
Okay. You be a good boy now. And call me. You call me.
You know what I call you.
You call me and talk to me all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I will, Robbie.
It was me talking to you on the telephone that helped me through what I've gone through.
All right.
Huh? You be good. We'll always be here. Okay?
You take care of yourself. Take care of Betty. All right, Robbie. It was the one year in my life that did more to affect me. Our company spent more time in enemy contact in that 1 year than the regiment did during all of World War II. And it was, without a doubt, the most formative year of my life.
Snuffy,
Hey,
here I am.
oh, for God's sake! Where the hell have you been? I'll tell you.
Hi, buddy. My goodness. I didn't recognize you with the long horn.
Don't try to be nice. I'm not used to it.
Oh, you're not. Indeed.
What's your name? Did you take care of JJ? Oh, it's good to see you,
Good
kid.
to see you too.
How's
How are
you
you
doing?
doing? What's with this?
No, stop. Come on, sit down. The only reason I came, because when I talked to Donnie, and this was a month and a half ago, he said, "I'll be there, you old fart." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "As long as you're going, I'll go." Of all the people that we've got, your dad and I are the closest.
Yes.
You have no idea how it bothers me.
I think I have a very good idea. I think I have a very good idea.
You know, we've gone through so much crap to have something like this happen. Unreal. Area code 302
302 981
981.
90.
Donnie Donnelly, Snuffy's machine gunner in Korea, is seriously ill. An operation to remove his bladder cancer has gone badly wrong.
Hello?
Cat,
Yeah. Hi.
I'm just calling through. I'm here. Chrissy's here, and we just wanted to call and see how he's doing.
Oh, he's sleeping.
He is sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I love you.
Yeah. Love you too.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You know, everything that's happened to us and every goddamn thing we've been through, this is a hell of a thing to have happen to him. And it bothers me no end.
Have to come up.
It shouldn't happen. One of the biggest, I guess, nightmares that I have is I did an awful lot of patrolling. I did a lot of night work. And there are times I wake up where I feel everybody is left and I'm there all alone. And you talk about fear. Oh, brother. You're behind the enemy lines. There's nobody with you. You're by yourself. And it's a case of creep and crawl and run like hell and get the hell out of there all by yourself. And the thing is, Tom, that never really happened to me. It never really happened to me. My people never left me. Never left me. We always checked each other out. But there are times when I wake up and we're in a firefight and I'm all by myself. Evening. I'm alive and well.
The brotherhood that binds Snuffy to his Korean War comrades runs deep. It may well be the only benefit of combat, an experience so intense that it can take a lifetime to come to terms with. The unit a soldier has served in becomes the focal point for this devotion and loyalty, a source of pride in the face of painful and troubling memories. And no unit in the American Army evokes greater pride than Snuffy's 7th Cav.
You're part of something that you know is big and you know is great, and you want to live up to it because it has a history of doing damn near the impossible many, many times. People just wanted to be part of the 7th and be recognized as one of the best.
Growing up in America in the 1960s, I shared the same childhood fantasies of every American boy. A world of brave men, heroic deeds, and desperate battles against the odds. Stories of wagon trains, cowboys, and Indians filled my TV screen, but one story stood out. The destruction of the 7th Cav by the Lakota Sioux at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The dramatic nature of the 7th's defeat, heroic men dying to the last for their country, symbolized American bravery, giving the 7th Cav legendary status. Every summer, the 7th rides again in a drama that washes away the sins of American history by appeals to national unity. At the center of the show is the fearless, egotistical General Custer, commander of the 7th, America's leading Indian fighter. Hollywood knew his star value, making some 20 films about him or the 7th Cav. The most famous Custer film, They Die With Their Boots On, was released just before America entered the Second World War, helping to prepare the nation for the sacrifices ahead.
The greatest cavalry regiment the world has ever known, thundering to battle to the rousing tempo of their own fighting song, writing history with the flashing strokes of their sabers. Men who'd rather die with their boots on than see their flag crumpled in defeat. All under the flaming command of the man they'd follow straight to Hades, General George Custer.
The film distorts the truth of Custer's life from the very first frame, exalting his heroic exploits and transforming his death into a noble sacrifice.
Errol Flynn in his greatest role, reliving the glorious adventures of America's Golden Cavalier, fighting side by side with the most colorful heroes ever to come out of West Point.
United States of America. Kadatidi Awakawik. That means let's see you again in the Crow language. You are always welcome in Crow land. God guide you as you journey on. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
The 7th Cav rose up from the ashes of its defeat and headed west to wars in the Philippines, Japan, Korea, and Vietnam, becoming a symbol of the westward expansion of the American civilization. Every year, hundreds of Lakota parents take their children on a 200-mile horse ride across the Great Plains on the anniversary of the massacre of their ancestors. At least 300 Lakota were killed at Wounded Knee Creek by the 7th Cav 14 years after the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Some women and children were found miles away, hunted down in the snow and shot at close range. Revenge was certainly a factor. Some troopers at Wounded Knee had been in the 7th Cav at the time of Custer's defeat. The official U.S. Army report at the time ignored those killings and praised the 7th Cav, saying their conduct was characterized by skill, coolness, and discretion, and reflected the highest possible credit upon the regiment. 18 members of the 7th Cav were given the Congressional Medal of Honor, America's highest award for bravery. Efforts by the Lakota to have those medals revoked were recently refused by the U.S. Senate, saying the cavalrymen had demonstrated gallantry above and beyond the call of duty. For me, this is where the idea of military honor becomes twisted, because men have died for their country, and 25 died at Wounded Knee. Their death must somehow be couched in heroic terms, regardless of the circumstances. At the beginning of the Korean War, another stain appeared on the 7th Cav's legendary combat record, one kept secret by the Pentagon for 50 years. In their first full day at the front, the 2nd Battalion of the 7th Cav opened fire on a group of refugees. They took shelter in a railway tunnel near the village of No-Gun-Ri, but the Americans kept shooting, doing so for 3 days. Up to 400 South Korean civilians were killed. But for me, the real shock of No-Gun-Ri is that the 7th Cav and other units were ordered to shoot civilians by the generals in charge of the war, fearful that North Korean troops were hiding amongst them. Half a century later, the Pentagon was still lying to the American people, saying it had no evidence of orders to shoot civilians in Korea. At least 17 such orders have been found in government archives. This determination to spare the honor of the U.S. Army is common to Wounded Knee and other attacks on civilians. An order to kill civilians condemns the very soldiers the Pentagon claims to honor to a lifetime of guilt and self-reproach. Art Hunter is one of Snuffy's closest friends from Korea.
How you doing, Snuff? Good.
Another hero, Art saved Snuffy's life and probably the whole of George Company when he single-handedly held off a North Korean attack, killing dozens with his machine gun. Art was in the 2nd Battalion of the 7th at the time of No-Gun-Ri.
And we was up on this hill. And this old man and old woman, was running around now like going crazy. I said, Captain, what do you want to do about them people? He said, what do you think? Nothing to me. I said, I don't know. So I fired a few bursts down there to let them know that I could hit them if I wanted to. And I made them sit down. They sat. So I let it go. And they got up a few minutes and started running around there again like crazy. So I said, well, the only thing I can do is take them out. So I shot the old man, killed him. And the old woman just ignored him more or less. She just kept on getting it. And I said, damn, I hate to do it. And I shot her and killed her. And I get tore up about it every once in a while. It's in my head, and I'll think about it, and I just go nuts. I'll sweat, and carry on waking up, screaming about that crap. But that never has left me. You're there to protect yourself and your friends, but you really don't want to kill somebody else. You really don't. But if you know it's their life or your life, then you're going to take theirs. And then eventually, all that builds up. All that builds up, the things you've done. We certainly didn't shoot any civilians on purpose, except to stop them. And I still think of the two I'd killed, this old man and woman. I still have those, well, maybe not nightmares, it must be dreams, I don't know. And you wonder if you're going to be forgiven for it. Which, you killed somebody, you don't expect to be forgiven for it. I don't. And that's why I feel right now, or I always have. If the Lord took me right to this second, I wouldn't care. Because I'm wore out.
"15 years ago, Snuffy's life took a surprising turn. In an attempt at reconciliation between the 7th and the Lakota Nation, Snuffy met and befriended several Lakota Vietnam veterans. Soon he was doing charitable work for the poor on the Lakota reservation at Rosebud. Then in 2001, following the death of his wife, Snuffy sold his home in Florida and moved to South Dakota to be near the Rosebud Reservation. 4 years later, he was adopted as a blood brother by a Native American family. I have often wondered why Snuffy, a white American career soldier, embraced the very tribe that were his beloved 7th's greatest enemies. Snuffy's closest friends on the Rosebud Reservation are all Vietnam veterans. They belong to the Sikanju Warrior Society, and Snuffy marches with them at public events.
And all he did was feed the VC. I mean, he gave them food, anything they wanted.
Hell of a commitment to be in 3 wars. If I had to place him in a category, I think he may even be equal or surpass people like Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull and those kinds of great warriors. He is a great warrior.
Because
And all these Purple Hearts.
you're Caucasian.
You're
That's
Caucasian, that's right.
a warrior of that stature. I mean, he's the first Caucasian that joined us, and he joined us, and proud to have him as a member.
Right from there, they took us to those hills around Ashaw.
Yeah.
We're proud to have him in
All the way around Ashaw and then,
in our group. He's always welcome.
Yeah, northeast corner of Mon Cape.
Whenever I meet a fellow 7th Cav guy, I usually greet him with Gary Owen, and that's the way I greeted Snuffy. And from then on, he knew I was in the 7th Cav, so he always calls me and we talk, and good to see him.
The reservation at Rosebud was a disaster for the Lakota. Hunger stalked the people, the land was of poor quality, and the food and clothing promised by the federal government was often stolen by corrupt Indian agents. For years, the U.S. government continued to confiscate more and more of the reservation's land, while working hard to destroy all vestiges of traditional Lakota life. Christian missionaries and patriotic idealists descended on Rosebud, trying to enlist the Lakota into the American dream, as in this flag-raising expedition of 1913. Ever since Wounded Knee, the Lakota have struggled to keep their culture alive. One that has survived is the Lakota warrior tradition. Because of it, young men like Jack Menard felt obliged to go to war under the flag of the United States. Jack Menard served with the 7th Cav in Vietnam. As a young boy, he was sent to the St. Francis boarding school.
Well, my mother was very strong. She was a very strong person. And no matter what, she always spoke Lakota at the house. So I knew when we went to St. Francis, they always told us to speak English, speak English, speak English. And my mother, when I'd go home, she would start, introducing the language again and start speaking to Lakota to us. There was one thing that she emphasized, though. She said, you're going to have to succeed in the white world. And in order to do that, you have to learn their ways. You have to learn their language, especially their language. Learn it good. And use it against them. Make them think that you're going to be like them. But you're going to always come back to us, to the Lakota. You're going to always... excuse me. You're going to always be a Lakota, no matter what. And I really made an emphasis of getting into the schooling and all that. I always went out for spelling. I always tried to really learn the language, which I think I did pretty good.
Billy Menard, like his brother Jack, served with the cavalry in Vietnam. He has never overcome his experiences of that war.
It'll never leave me. Vietnam will never leave me. Never will. It's like all of us, all the other veterans that go around. It affects us every day. Because we know we've been there. We know we were there, and we know what we did. Nobody can take that away from us. Nobody can. Can never take that away from us. And what you just asked, Vietnam will never leave me. Not until I die. There's things I don't even tell my brother and my sister. I won't even tell you. You don't want to hear about that. I don't want to say anything about it. You don't want to hear about it. Bad thing.
I hate to say this too loud, but I'm going to say it anyhow. I've got many friends down here on Rosebud. People that I think a hell of a lot of. And after coming out here for 15 years, I really thank God that I met you people. It means a lot to me, believe me. Because I'm with people I enjoy, I'm with people I like, and I'm with a bunch of goddamn warriors. That's all there is to it. Again, thank you. Everybody put 2 bratwursts in their pocket and top them off with beans. We got a lot left over.
Don't put them in your back pocket.
Don't put them in your back pocket.
Whoa,
you might say, what's going on here?
Snuffy has continually urged his friends to seek professional help to deal with their post-combat stress, but he has always resisted seeking help for himself. Finally, this spring, after a serious bout of depression, he decided to seek a preliminary evaluation with a psychologist he has known for years.
Don't let him know I spoke with you. And she was at his house. And I called him back. And boy, I chewed him out to it fairly well. I mean, I really gave him both barrels.
That's going back to that helper role we talked about.
Say again?
Well, that's going back to that helper role of you. That's what you do. That's what you're about.
I get a good feeling out of it.
Are you going to let us do that with you?
Say again?
Are you going to let us do that with you?
I don't know. I got nothing to hide.
At the beginning of the 1960s, President Kennedy sent 16,000 American military advisors to Southeast Asia. One of their covert missions was to make contact with the Montagnards, the mountain people, and build them into an effective anti-communist force. Snuffy was one of those advisors.
I know quite a bit about you, but one of the gaps is Vietnam. You don't say a whole lot about Vietnam, and when you do, your temperament changes a bit. There's almost a agitation there.
Well, when I got to Saigon, I was assigned to an outfit up in the Benhai Valley. It was a joint unit, 10 Australians, 10 Americans.
How old were you?
Well, let's see, 1963. I was born in 25. This was 62, 63. So I was what, 27, 28 years old?
30.
30, yeah.
Something,
yeah. I was older than almost all of them. And we would go out and recruit Montagnard villages. Now we worked with two people. One with a brew and the other with a Hmong. Now the brew are lovers. They couldn't fight their way out of a goddamn paper sack. But the Hmong were very warlike people. Very.
The use of the Montagnards echoed the way Indians were used as scouts and auxiliary troops in the American West a century earlier. They proved to be fierce fighters.
When we get word that there was a convoy coming down, we would take the Hmong out and ambush them. Now the Hmong, one of their favorite tricks, they'd take the last man, cut his head off, put it in the middle of the trail, and get rid of the bicycle and the load. And that would tear the BC up. And then they go down a little bit further and they'd run into an ambush site and my people would shoot them up. Then we'd get the hell out of there. Just leave them.
My people?
Well, I say my people, the people I was working with.
So all of you together?
Yeah.
Okay.
When the Vietnam War ended, the U.S. turned its back on its tribal allies. Worst affected were the Hmong, who fought for the U.S. in the secret war in Laos. They were singled out by the North Vietnamese. Thousands were shot outright. Others were sent to re-education camps to be tortured and starved to death. Many fled to the mountains and hoped they could escape to neighboring Thailand.
Those people literally were massacred by the NVA. Mm-hmm. They wipe out whole villages. I mean, we just abandoned them. Here's people that put their way of life on the line for us. Never refused to do anything we wanted. Did everything that we possibly could ask them to do. And then bingo, we pull out and leave them there. And that to me is one of the biggest crimes that the United States government has ever committed. They slaughtered them because we left them there and we walked out on them. Well, I have a tremendous feeling of guilt over that.
They reminded me of the Lakota. I mean, sometimes when I came upon them, I thought I was looking in a mirror, except for the way they were dressed. And they seen me and they started rubbing my face, my skin, the same color as theirs. And you know, they gave me one of those bracelets. I had it for quite a while, about 15 years. Anyway, they were real friendly people, and they were warriors. I seen some of them hunting with just crossbow, and they were quite good at it.
Soon, Snuffy's therapy began to pay dividends. He reached out to his 2 daughters and arranged to see his eldest for the first time in almost 3 years. He would reveal to her a deeper personal connection with the tragedy that befell the Montagnards.
I know a lot of times you didn't. I know you talked to Stephen quite a bit about what occurred in Vietnam, things that you would not discuss with me.
Well, one of the things that made the biggest impact on me is we had a small village, maybe 30, 35 people, men, women, children. We took them out towards just west of Quezon, and we established them in the village. Mm-hmm. We gave them all the support and seed. We even gave them fertilizer, believe it or not. And we helped them set up and put them in there to work for us. And they did.
And the VC knew that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we went out one morning, and every person, men, women, and babies, had been killed. And that had been done by the VC. And the village chief had been totally disemboweled. One woman was disemboweled. And they'd cut a baby's head off and rested it on her stomach. And that's something I just can't forget. And we went to Washington. I would not go to the Vietnamese Memorial. I think it's a completely erroneous thing. Not that it's not paying homage to people that got killed. But it's just, to me, it's just wrong.
It was very wrong for the wrong reasons. I mean...
I'm glad we had a chance to sit down and talk like this. I really am.
I've wanted to do it for many years, and you wouldn't do it, and I knew that it was very difficult to try to approach you about it because I'd get that look, and it was like, nope, we're not going there today. We're not ever going to go there.
After months of urging Snuffy to face the reality of his Vietnam experience, I finally persuaded him to meet Hmong veterans who had managed to escape Laos and reach America. Snuffy goes to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, to visit the first ever memorial in the U.S. to the thousands who died in America's secret war in Laos.
Mr. Snuffy, welcome.
Thank you.
My name is Vu Yang, and I'm the chairman of the Lao Hmong and American Memorial Sheboygan. Welcome to Sheboygan. These are the people that you saw many, many moons ago. Mr. Nha Thong Law. All and Mr.
Thank
Sai
you.
Chu Wang.
I see you today.
Lieutenant Sai Chu
I'm very
Wang.
happy to be here.
Thank you.
Captain Chai Yang Lee, the shaman too. He's a captain in the captain, company commander. Nyabi Bu and Sai Po Lee and the Lieutenant Bao Xiong. These are the survivors from the U.S. Secret War in Laos. They come to the United States of America. I would like to show you the people that they didn't have a chance to shake your hand in physical, but in spirit they are with us today. Everybody is with us today too. Let's go ahead. Đây là bên thang lẫn mùa.
There are as many as 5,000 Hmong still hiding in the mountains of Laos, being hunted by the Laotian army. Snuffy goes to see a Hmong shaman who survived 5 years hiding in the mountains with his family before escaping to America.
We were not educated. We were honest. We were maybe stupid. We trust them. We thought when they come, we thought they would keep their promise. We trust because they are from the United States of America. So when they talk to us, we totally trust them, believe them.
Well, what happened when he found out you couldn't trust him?
Nó chỉ cái mà bố tòa thì dầu nó lại đạp cái tua này tua thành là lút so này lại che lại đi ép chếp có cái tua.
Now we know that they let us die so they can live. We were all broken heart. We feel so bad. It looks like a burning charcoal in our heart. And the people who still stay in the jungle in Laos, they had no shelter, no food. They eat leaves, they eat roots. They had nothing. They flee back and forth, place to place. I can't really figure out what's going on about the U.S. government that we used to trust.
I'm not in a position. How do I apologize for our government? Me, one person. How do I apologize? How do I tell him about how sorry I am that this happened? Because I can do nothing about it. I feel that that is a gigantic betrayal. And that's it.
Chỉ bởi sáng chỉ cho bọt bọt cho cái sao rồi cho chi nè ra nè giờ tu cho.
Snuffy finally plucks up the courage to tell the shaman the full extent of his personal feelings of guilt.
Every man, woman, and child had been killed. And I'm the one that selected the place, and I'm the one that put the people there. And that's a tough thing to live with. Tough thing to live with. That has bothered me more than anything I've ever done in my life. He can probably help me with that.
Cú cho cái nâng khó gọt tao cho lò lên này nó mà cú yên con tao tụ lại rong tao.
Now he will talk to you as a shaman. For this particular place where the Bru village was killed, through his shaman sense, he's gonna go to that place in the spirit world. He will go there. He will go and talk to all those village, the people that died. He will make them, offer them some means so they can go to the next life, so they can relieve you from the fear. Your spirit was falling on that village, and he will bring your soul back to your body. And he trusts that he will be able to do that and through the shaman's spirit.
I feel it's going to work. Hey, it's good. And I thank you. I thank you.
Thank you. Cú trò hồ sân mẹ giờ sân phi na nên đủ cho có lệ dân đủ tê tê cú chơi đủ cú ba tê cú long đủ ca tê cú tê lợi là cú trò hồ cha lý sơ trừng đó là khi trồng đi lù hồ khi ra đi lù ta để trồng đi đời hồ đến ra đi đời ta cha lý sơ trừng đó là la cha rô trồng trái trà linh chùa trô hô và cha rô ra trái nắng la trô hô long nhà sĩ bùa bư là nhà hoa lúa tự chế là rô hoa lúa lâu là nhà và sợ để họ muốn để cho chia chi mù mò cho bọc thì sau đó bé
A pig is brought in. A rope will be stretched between it and Snuffy to connect their souls. Later, the pig's soul will be traded for Snuffy's in the land of the spirits.
mà rắn chỉ là phổ kỳ tư ta trà ô tao dạy gỗ đỡ tổng thầy hù cho lại chỉ lử cho thá chỉ bờ xe gỗ xa sinh tô xa sợ gỗ xa lại lỗ xa tớ rừng chẳng đi phụ chi chẳng thân thua gió thì thua rừng chẳng đi phụ chi gió
Now that the pig has been connected to Snuffy, it will be slaughtered to release its soul. The shaman enters a trance that will last 4 hours. He will journey through the spirit world to Vietnam and negotiate the release of Snuffy's soul, which is held by the dead of the massacred Montagnard village.
Now he's back to himself, man. He never saw such a thing that he did for you. It's so well done, so well organized, and your soul is so cooperated. And he was so happy to see that happen to you.
Oh, I'm very happy for what he did.
Okay.
No one else going to eat?
No.
Just me?
No, we'll do this one. You will eat after. Put your hand like that. Never?
Never.
Okay. Now you see the blue, and now you see the Hmong. Because you get the law for the blue, the North Vietnam kill all the blue in there. Now you not bring all the blue can to the United States. That's what they miss you. They can take your spray, stay over there. God bless you.
Thank you.
Major Snuffy, it is an honor and a privilege from the Hmong community. You are the only person that know the Hmong people, feel the Hmong people, so it is a privilege for us to provide this ceremony for you, to heal yourself, heal your wound internally, and to be your brothers for good, for bad, and forever. Kahei.
Kahei.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
I felt a lot better. Felt as though things have been put to bed. And John Ye explained to me that it was not my fault. That I did everything that was right, and it was the fault of some villager that was a turncoat, that was a VC spy, or what have you, or was a communist. And he said, you can't blame yourself for that. And in retrospect, he's right. And And I've been carrying that for a hell of a lot of years. And finally, with his help, I put it to bed. I don't worry about it anymore. We did what we could, did the best we could, and we had no impact on it.
You don't feel guilty anymore?
No, I don't feel guilty. I did. But as he said, the person in the village that did it, he is guilty, not you. You know, I have become a complete, total pacifist. I think war doesn't help anything. All it does is cost human lives and misery and everything else. I wish there was another way that these differences could be settled without going to war. But that's human nature. That's human nature.
That work with us, and we sent them up to Lake Cove.
After years of refusing to go, Snuffy has decided to visit the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. He is joined by his Korean War friend, Donnie Donnelly, who is on the road to recovery.
You look at it, you see the names, and it has magic power.
I know.
It has magic power. It will grab you, pull you in, and embrace you. And it just, I don't know. That's why I come here.
I never wanted to come here.
Why the reason I come here every year, Snuff, is just to get.
I'll come back.
The healing.
I just feel, at least I came and I saw them, and I saw how they're honored. And that's been so lacking, so long. Nobody gives a goddamn. But this shows that somebody cares.
Hey, you old fart.
We made the trip to Washington. Went to see Donnelly, you know, my machine gunner. You met Donnie.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie is completely cancer-free. And he broke my chops until I finally went down to see the moving wall. Not the moving wall, the original wall.
You know, I thought you'd been there before. So you never told me. I know it was...
Billy, I refused to go. I wouldn't go.
It took me a while. Well, then in '82 when I was working at the vet center, that's when they had buses coming in from Rapid City, and then we had one from South Dakota. The squad I was in, I'm the last one. All my guys are all dead. They either drank themselves to death or, well, suicide. A couple of them in car wrecks, which were kind of suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we couldn't stay away. Just had to go back, keep going back. I don't know.
You know, we lost a hell of a lot of good men over there. A lot of good men.
That's a hard one to answer.
That's the way it is. I would go back again. I think it's part of the healing process. What the hell are you gonna do?
The Rosebud Powwow is the annual gathering of the Lakota people. The first one was held in the summer of 1876 in celebration of the defeat of the 7th Cav. There is an element of defiance in the air. Perhaps it's just a quiet determination to continue being Lakota. It's a difficult balance, living in America while remaining separate. Yet somehow the Lakota have managed to make an accommodation with the people and the country which overwhelmed them.
I never did like you.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. You got no choice.
Yeah, I know I have no choice. You have a choice with friends. You don't have it with family.
One veteran.
I got it.
Veteran, can't talk.
For Jack Menard, being Lakota and fighting for America has come at a very high price, which he discovered when confronted by a fellow Lakota warrior about his service in the 7th Cav.
We had gone to a party, I think it was, and I was there, and he asked what unit I served in, so I told him, 7th Cav, and he jumped up and he wanted to fight me. So I said, "What's the matter with you?" And you were with the 7th Cav, you know, they killed our people, and then that was when I felt guilty about serving with the 7th Cav. I wasn't there at Wounded Knee. I wasn't there 100 years ago. But I was in Vietnam. Vietnam is my war. And that's where I served. I served proudly, and I served with these guys, the 7th Cav. I loved those guys. I would have went anywhere with them. And anybody that asked who I served with, I would tell them. And I'd gotten drunk, and I was miserable for a couple of weeks, and everything just seemed to go downhill, and was at a low point. I didn't know where to turn to. So I just took my rifle and went out in the woods. I was unsuccessful. But I'd rather not go into that. That was the lowest point of my life.
How did you rebuild yourself?
I wanted better things than just to, be found in a ditch, drunk and dead. I didn't see myself like that. I wanted to be better. So that's what I started doing. And it took a while. But I made it. It was a long struggle, hard struggle.
Perhaps it was America's destiny to march ever westward. But the cost to the men who made that march has been higher than we care to acknowledge. And the fact that we've chosen to wrap that march in mythical glory, rather than face the hard truths of what really happened, has made the journey harder still.
That is a beautiful sight. First of all, we have our Lakota warriors carrying the staff for the Lakota Warriors, staff number 1, Mr. Bill Menard, 7th Cavalry, Vietnam. Okay, Warriors, I also believe we have just been told that we have another gentleman by the name of Robert Snuffy Gray. We have the
For Snuffy, befriending the Montagnards and then seeing them massacred and abandoned led him all the way back to the people who suffered first at the hands of his beloved unit. For Jack and Billy, dancing the same victory dance the Lakota warriors did on the night they defeated Custer, the challenge has been greater. Perhaps their victory is that they found a way to keep their warrior tradition alive by transferring their loyalties to the country that defeated them. In that sense, the Battle of the Little Bighorn has never really ended.
Storyville dissects two seemingly unconnected events that led to the loss of the Vietnam War next tonight here on BBC4. And there's more Storyville for you next Monday with a football triple bill from 10.